Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day today. I'm honored to be connecting in with you in mid-November. I was actually looking at the calendar here and I realized, my goodness, this is the last Thursday before Thanksgiving, and it's almost the last Thursday of the month. So the time is going very quickly. I hope that it's serving you powerfully. And one of the things that we like to focus on in November and December is how to be mindful and purposeful in the holiday season. How can we be mindful and still have that magical feeling? And I have found that magical feeling isn't something outside of us that magically comes and helps us feel a certain way, but it can come from within us, and we can bring the magic to the memories, to the day, to the experience by choosing to be fully present and breathing and being willing to be. And that the hustle and the bustle isn't in charge, but we get to choose how to be present and how to navigate the holiday season in a powerful way. So I'm very honored that you are connecting in today. I'm looking forward to the conversation, and I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together today. And part of doing that is choosing to be present. That this time is for you. It's an opportunity for you to slow down and receive, be poured into, listen, explore, grow. So I encourage you, choose to be fully present. Get a piece of paper and a pen to write down an aha moment or an insight that you receive. And it may be from something our guest shared today. It might be something that bubbles up from within you when you slow down and listen a little bit. It's amazing the insights that we can get and receive. And we can miss them because we're looking at the next shiny object. So I encourage you to slow down, be present, really tune in, allow this time to support you, to pour into you, to help you be filled to overflowing. And I celebrate and I'm honored that you are choosing to connect in, to spend this time with us. And we are excited to connect in with you and pour into you. So I want all of you open to receive. I encourage you to take a deep breath in through the nose. A little bit more all the way to your toes. And then out through your mouth. Like through a straw. Beautiful. Keep breathing. Really feel that air, that oxygen coming in and serving every cell in your body, helping you release what no longer serves. Bring in all that does. Create space. It helps slow you down a little bit, lower your blood pressure, those stress levels that can be up a little bit during the season. It helps you have clearer thinking and become more present just through the power of breath, lowering our cortisol levels. And let's dial this up. I encourage you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And as your eyes are closed and you're continuing to breathe, put both hands on your heart. Feel your heartbeat. And as you do, bringing all of you in, mind, heart, body, soul, and spirit, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, support you? What do you need today, real time, to support you? That you are willing to receive, because remember, you have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Take in that information. Let's take another breath. As we open up our eyes, become fully present. Beautiful. Continuing those beautiful breaths. And we're going to go around our virtual room here and just see what was laid on our respective hearts. I know for myself, when I took that breath, I could feel stretching in my body and in my lungs. I thought, wow, I need to remember to take those deep breaths. I need to be mindful of that so that I can breathe in all that is here to serve and support me. That's kind of what touched on my heart and reminded me to remember to take those deep breaths. So with that, I'd love to start with you, Abby. What was on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen?
That when you said we were safe, it was just a reminder for me to know that the present moment, we can always come back to that, because we tend to project into the future, and we get really, we get a lot of anxiety or a lot of fear of what could happen, but really in the present moment, we're liberated and we're free. So I just felt the moment and knowing I'm safe. So.
Thank you for sharing that. You're right. We can always come back to that present moment, the now. Beautiful, beautiful reminder. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
How about you, Kim? What was on your heart when you took a moment to listen?
Well, for me, it was just, I guess you were talking about the holidays coming up and everything, and just to remember that giving is really the key, and to connect with people and to be present in the moment and not miss any memories.
I love that. Not miss any memories by choosing to be present. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Listeners, we are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, I want you to think about what was laid on your heart and spirit. See, as you weave in what Kim shared and Abby shared and myself, as we took a moment to listen, feel in, what was laid on your heart? What reminder or insight was shared? Just take a moment to stay present and receive that, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. They had an opportunity to be still and listen and really take those breaths and be present. I always find it so centering and grounding when I do, and my perspective can shift just by taking 1 minute and breathing and focusing and being very mindful and purposeful about how I'm being, what my next steps are. So I encourage you throughout the show today, we've built those commercial breaks in on purpose. They are for you, to support you, to keep you up to date on things that are going on, but also to build in a support where you have these breaks to process what's being shared, to really integrate it, breathe it in on a cellular level. So I encourage you, as we have those breaks throughout our show, that you're really using them, you're really letting them support you to process, breathe, and receive. I'm very excited to introduce our first guest. I know you're going to love her. Her name is Kim Bellis, and in 2013, she decided to stop drinking for 3 months to support her son Matthew, who had been diagnosed with epilepsy. This led to her creating Sober is the New Cool. And she realized that there's so much social pressure around drinking and situations that can be difficult to navigate. And so now she is on a mission to change that. She's now known as the matriarch of the Sober movement and is on a global mission to help make Sober the New Cool. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, heart-centered, and dynamic Kim Bellis to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Rebecca, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. I'm excited to have you here, and I'm excited to share you with everyone. I've gotten to experience a little bit of you over a period of time, and every time I have been uplifted. I love your perspective. I love your passion for what you do and your willingness to really stand in this place for so many. So I'm excited. Warmly welcome you. My arms were up and raised as I welcomed you to our virtual stage. And I'd love to have you share. Oh, and where are you calling in from? I always think it's cool for everyone to know where everybody is. So where are you joining us from today?
I am in Montreal, Canada.
Yeah, so welcome. Excited to have you joining us and all the Canadians listening. Beautiful. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why, this thing that started in 2013 as a 3-month thing that you were doing to support your son has become so much more. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why this work has become so important for you and to you and has become a global mission.
Well, when it started, it really was just a mother helping her son. And I just wanted him to have the power to know that he didn't have to drink to have fun. And slowly I realized the social pressures of social drinking for me at 52 years old. And I thought, if that's happening to me, imagine a young boy of 15, how would he navigate through that? So Sober's the New Cool was born. My sister made the logo, and we just thought it was just kind of like a tool for him to have in his back pocket. And slowly but surely, we realized that there were people all over the world that, because mental health and addiction to us, we feel, is hand in hand. Many times, addiction is just a Band-Aid for someone's trauma or someone's sadness. So it became a much bigger thing than what we ever thought it was going to be. And we just wanted to make sure that people knew they didn't have to explain why they drank, why they didn't drink. And so Sober's the New Cool was born, and it just kept growing and growing. And we are just honored that people share their stories with us, and we try and help them regain their happiness and find their passions and remember the qualities that they forgot they have.
So beautiful. And on this journey, as you have helped people embrace Sober is the New Cool and provided so many ways to cheer them on, encourage, and support them on the journey, are there some things that if people are like, wow, I would really like to learn more, know more about some of the things that I can tap into around this, do you mind sharing a little bit of what those opportunities are and those resources are?
Well, we do something called the I Am exercise. We either get to know people and we talk to them on the phone, or we do it by email or text. We ask them, like you did, to put their hand on their heart and repeat after me, or I send them a text message. So they get up in the morning with one positive word and they go to bed at night with one positive word to slowly rebuild their self-esteem. And then slowly we ask them to send words back. And quite honestly, once they start to rebuild their self-esteem, it's incredible how much better they feel about themselves. And then they realize what it is they need. Do they need, Zoom meetings? Do they need and I think also the other thing is people need connection. They need to know you really are invested in them and you really care. It's not just, hi, how are you? And basically don't listen to the answer. Really take the time to make them feel heard and important. So we have people from all over the world that we can connect, and depending on what they need at that time.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing how how people can start to interact with you. And I love this, starting the day. I was thinking of our mindfulness focus and magic, really having that opportunity to start the day with a positive word and end the day with a positive word. And that feeling into the heart is such a powerful activity and I think practice that can be built into our life. So I love that. And I know that you are working on bringing your organization forward in some new ways. And I didn't know if you wanted to share about that today.
Yes. Well, we do have an apparel line, just a hoodie and a T-shirt. And we give back to a mental health organization here in Montreal called the Douglas Foundation. Part of the proceeds go back towards mental health and addiction. And besides that, we're in the process of becoming a charity to be able to help different individuals for whatever need they have, and to know that there's really a place that is safe for women, men, kids, that they can reach out, and then we can guide them to where they need to be. Because I don't pretend to be a psychologist or a doctor of any kind. We just have this really true feeling of connection and letting them know that we are here and we do answer right away, and we make sure that we take care of them as best as we can immediately. So the charity will just help us move forward in helping people sometimes with different costs that are associated with treatment, which sometimes can be daunting for many because, it's hard out there right now just with COVID and the whole way things are. Some people don't have work. Some people have work. They have kids. Other priorities kind of take over instead of them. And quite honestly, a mother, a father, they need to be 100% to take care of the rest of their family. So that's what we are really trying to strive for, to let people know that we're here and we support them. And honestly, really, really know that no matter what they need, we will find, or we will help them find and guide them through different channels that we know. Some people have Zoom meetings. Some people do AA. Some people do treatment with a psychologist. Other people do journaling. There's so many options, and there's zero judgment, and whatever works is what works for you.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I so appreciate that. And I love that you've created this space that there is no judgment, there is true caring, there is true connection, and a way to really help support and lift up others on their journey and finding that thing that and that process and that way that works for them. And as we're looking at the holidays and we're looking at Because sometimes, we see all that magic of the season in the movies or in the cards or different things out there, and we don't always feel that. And that can sometimes help have us feeling a little bit isolated or struggling a little bit. And I think make some of these pressures even stronger. Do you have any tips or advice to support people during the holiday season to maybe shift that a little bit to being more mindful and empowered and centered so that they are choosing to bring forward those things that matter most? And this could be on their sobriety journey. It can be on their journey that isn't around sobriety. What are some tips that you have to support people in that way?
Well, the main thing that I'll tell people, and I think that it's short and sweet, but never, ever miss another memory. And I know now alcohol was not my friend, but I never want to miss one more second of one more moment because life is precious. And when you're sober, quite honestly, the world is like 75 million different colors as opposed to when I was drinking, it wasn't quite so colorful. So I try to remind people that, because the society today, it's like a wedding, a this, a that. Everybody's there to have champagne, a cocktail, a martini. And you know what? You can have as much fun with a mocktail. You can have and be present, really present in the moment, and really listen to conversations and read between the lines and make sure someone's not struggling. Go and sit beside somebody that's sitting by themselves at a party, or invite your neighbor, or go do something that you know that will help somebody else out during the holidays. And quite honestly, Rebecca, not just during the holidays. This should be every day of the year, that people should just be kind.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing. And never miss another memory, I think, is so powerful, and an opportunity to be kind, to listen, to really connect, to truly listen, like you said, between the lines, and making that a way of life, that we're choosing to connect, we're choosing to reach out, we're choosing to care, and really connect on a deep level with others, with kindness, love, and true care. Thank you for sharing. I feel so much you walk that talk in everything that you do. It's a wonderful example to all of us and listeners. As we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want to encourage you to really think about some of what Kim has shared with us, and what are some ways that you can really breathe and take in those pieces that serve. And towards the end of the show, we're going to have ways that you can connect with her and our other amazing guest, so that you're able to continue the connection that is starting here today. But for now, so know that's all coming. But for now, I want you to be present and really take in all that Kim is sharing. How can we connect more? How can we reach out? How can we cherish every moment and never, ever miss a memory? We'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall-Griter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for The Power of Young People to Change the World, hosted by NYLC CEO Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you had an opportunity to really reflect on Kim's shares and wisdom and insights and story, and really breathe in all that serves. And one of the things we talk about on our show a lot is breath, pausing, breathing, being mindful. And I'm really excited to introduce our next guest. She is an expert in breath and being present. So I'm very excited to introduce her to you. Her name is Abby Daw, and she has been teaching yoga for over 18 years, has trained some of the best yoga mentors in the world. She's received the Entrepreneur of the Year Award in 2015 and is the founder of Magic Breath and Meditation. She is currently writing her book, so we're very excited about that. It's anticipated to come out in 2022, so stay tuned. And she is passionate about helping women embody their light and find their purpose. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, heart-centered, breath-filled Abby Daw to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's an honor to be here.
You are welcome. And I was envisioning you with my hands up, breath-filled and light-filled, but I ran out of space. So both go together. Excited to have you joining us today. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why. Why is this work that you have been doing helping others embody their light, really supporting them in meditation and yoga and breath? Why is this work so important to you?
Because I hit a point right before COVID where I realized that I was struggling with severe postpartum anxiety. And with all the tools that I had in my life, they just weren't quite helping all the way. And so I had never really gone into the rabbit hole of breath as a mindfulness teacher. I mean, I taught it, but I never really researched it and got into the depths of it. And I decided I was going to go down into this breath research, and I started to actually notice that I was transforming literally every day. So I committed myself to 180 days straight of 22 minutes a day of transformational breath work. And it literally took all of my postpartum away, my anxiety, and I realized I have to share this. I am happier. It's in the midst of a pandemic. I don't have fear in my body, and I'm thriving. So that's how it started for me.
That is so powerful. That even with all of your years of expertise and training and giftedness and all that you've brought the world to discover kind of this new level that you needed and was needed, and how to do it, and to make that commitment of 180 days and spending that time was so transformational for you, and that you are now bringing that to the world in really powerful ways. And can you share, for some people who are thinking breath and 22 minutes and meditation and breathing, like this is all kind of a new space for them, can you expand on that a little bit, of what that means, what that looks like, and why that can be so important?
Well, for me, I decided to do the 22 minutes and then the seated meditations. But for somebody else who's not quite as well-versed in yoga and mindfulness as me, say like it's someone who's just a really busy mom, or you run a company, or you are just, you're not really in this mindfulness world, I offer little, just bite-sized wisdom around this, where if you just get up and you take in 10 deep breaths, that is going to shift your day. Just getting out of your bed and choosing to take some deep breaths, or right when you get in your car to go to work. So the reason why it's so important is because when you do that, it immediately takes you out of your anxiety or your fear, and you get to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It's the calming part of our nervous system. And then that also strengthens your immunity, and it just creates overall better health and mental health. It brings these two, mind, body, together as one.
Mm. And it can be as simple as 10 deep breaths that we do, and we can do that throughout the day. I would, as if we were aware and we choose to, but just those 10 deep breaths can shift that state for us is really powerful. That's exciting to know. And what a wonderful, I think so often we make the steps hard and heavy that we need to make, or the shifts. And if we can start to incorporate those 10 breaths to the beginning of our day, plus I was thinking the word from Kim, the positive word in the day, like this already has given us some great tools that we can start to incorporate into our life right now. So I love that. And how does meditation tie into this, and the breath work? How can these things combine and support and heal us?
So when I started practicing breath work, it calmed my body, which then allowed for me to sit in stillness and just go into that deeper knowing, because we give the mind too much credit. Everything we think, we're like, oh my gosh, that must be true. It's not necessarily a fact. It's just a thought. So if we can get into a still place, even for 5 minutes a day, and take some deep breaths at the same time, and then just listen in, drop into our deeper knowing, our body actually has the answers. But the brain wants to process everything, and the body doesn't have a chance to. So we have to allow ourselves to see what our body is saying. And usually the body is what's telling the truth over the brain. And the way we access the body is through stillness and through these meditations. But a lot of people get really intimidated by meditation because they think you have to do it for hours a day, or, but it's not. It's just a few minutes. You can lock yourself in your closet and just close your eyes and just ask your body a question and sit there, feel.
Beautiful. I love that. And do you find it's helpful to write the answers down, or to breathe the answers? Because if we're so tempted to listen to our mind and we're trying to tap into the wisdom of our body, and it might be newer to meditate or tap into that, do you have a suggestion of how to start to learn to receive that information?
Absolutely. At first you just need to observe your feelings, do body scan, notice your toes, notice your legs, go up your body. And then you can just observe what's happening. Say like you feel tension. So you say, okay, I feel tension in my body. And then you start to explore that. Why do I maybe feel some tension today? Oh, it's because of this. So you start to go into the feeling, and the feeling, as you become more curious about it, it will give you answers. So then I actually imagine I'm draining that out of my body. So I imagine it leaving, and then I just take some deep breaths and have that replaced with light. But you don't really have to seek anything. It's mostly just about presence and being curious, and the answers will come.
Beautiful. I love that. And I think it's simpler than we try to make it. I like
totally.
This. Yeah, why am I feeling some tension there? What is that about? Just kind of understanding, listening, and that visual of letting it drain away feels so lovely. And then filling it up, choosing what we're filling it up mindfully and purposely, I think is beautiful. So thank you. Thank you for walking us through that a little bit for us, that might be, these are newer concepts it's just not something we've built into our life. So I love that these are practical steps that we can easily start to take and build in. And how is this work if we start to build this into our life? I know you felt some amazing shifts in your life, and you're in this space, in this work, and even adding some of this intentional breath work created additional shifts. How have you seen this help people and heal their body or help them move forward and tap into their purpose? Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yes. In fact, I love to share about this because I actually attract some skeptics into my course. And they'll be like, I don't know if this works. I'm like, just trust the process, and you don't have to. You can be skeptical. Or someone who has a lot of anxiety, or somebody who's not sure where they want to go in their life, and they're kind of at a midlife crisis, like, where am I going? Who am I? And I just tell people, just show up, trust the process, and don't have an expectation. You know, some people can have shifts overnight. Some people can have shifts 8 months later, and they're like, oh my gosh, that is so different. But what I have seen is when people just trust and lean in and just show up and do the work, I've seen people get off of sleep meds. I've seen people manifest higher pay. They found their dream jobs. I've heard so much. People that are like, you know what? I can let go of that thing in my past that I didn't even realize I was holding on to, but it came up. It's just this slow uncovering that happens as you continue to show up for the breath, the meditation, the mindfulness practices, and just allowing it to be what it is.
I love that. So we don't even have to completely believe, but be open and willing to show up and experience. And I think that's really powerful because our mind so often wants to understand, and what's the next step, and how does this work, and I need to be convinced before I take a step. And I love that there's this space of showing up and experiencing and letting it unfold. And for those who do, that there's that the way you shared it feels so supported and flowing, not hard. I don't think we need things that are hard and complicated right now in life. So I love the flow and the feel of it. When we start to throw in the holiday component into the mix and the way this season can accelerate and affect people in different ways, do you have any particular tips or things that you would encourage people to be extra aware of, or some additional steps they can take to support themselves during the season?
Yes. Every morning, I set my alarm 5 minutes earlier, and I get out of bed, I go out onto my deck, and I say what I'm grateful for. And I do a little movement, little sun salutation, because I'm a yogi. And what I have found is when I start my day off with gratitude, I feel less reactive. And I think we all are reacting, and we're projecting often. And if someone says something that may trigger us, or if we're in a lot of stress, we're trying to get the gifts wrapped, we're trying to do all these things and juggle all these balls. If we feel that we're feeling reactive, or just, that's your moment, that's your cue to be like, okay, I'm going to step out of this, I'm going to maybe take a breath, and I'm going to respond 10 seconds later. And usually your response will be quite different than what you would have been 10 seconds earlier. And then that's usually your cue to check in with yourself, or know, okay, I need to go sit in silence, or I need to eat something healthier, or I need to just check in with myself and say, how are you doing today? What do you need?
Beautiful. I love that. So giving yourself that timeout, those 10 seconds. And I'm thinking, and that can fit the 10 breaths or half of the breaths, breathing in and out. We don't want to hyperventilate, but, giving yourself that time to shift and respond in a way that's more mindful and aligned. And I love that, seeking what do you need, really allowing that support for ourselves, that we're paying attention to that and we're asking, because it's so easy to just kind of do and forget to check. And I think we all need support as well. So thank you. A great tip. And then I wanted to circle back to the work that you do. And you mentioned the program that you have and some of the transformational experiences that people have had. Is there anything that you would like to add to our conversation about the magic of breath and meditation and tying those together that we haven't touched on today? I'd love to have you share.
Yeah, so really what I feel like what I teach and what I'm passionate about is the coming home to self and the loving of oneself and tapping into that unconditional love. The magic is on the inside, like you said, Rebecca, at the beginning of this show. And I want people to realize that they can co-create their lives. They can be in charge of how they want their life to look. What do you want? I help people find their desires again. Often we just get into this machine of life and we are herded like cattle and we don't realize we have a purpose. And we're on that roller coaster of social media and we're not listening to what our true essence wants, our soul. And so what this course is about is the unbecoming of some of the things we were taught and the finding of our inner voice. And the way we do that is through the body. And if you don't feel anything, then you're missing out on everything. So I teach people that feeling is okay and that living in your body is the new cool, just like sober is the new cool.
I love that. Very, very cool. Thank you for sharing. I love that. How we can all tie together and really being present in our life and not missing memories and being willing to feel deeply and fully in life and not just kind of in autopilot, and that is possible. And I love that you mentioned that we can co-create our life. I think sometimes we think it's outside forces directing our path, but we can actually participate, co-create, and build those things that matter to us and bring them forward. So Abby, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it and know that just some really great tips that we've given and shared with our listeners today. And we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about all that Abby has shared and to really take a moment to process, to breathe, maybe take those 10 deep breaths as you are receiving, breathing in all that serves. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. There we go, 2 minutes, and took the 10 breaths, I hope. Really giving yourself that opportunity to be present and take some of those beautiful breaths. And what a great takeaway to remember some of these things. I always feel like one of the opportunities we have when we come together and pour into each other is an opportunity to add some tools and practices to our toolbox. So as we're navigating life, we can do so in a mindful and purposeful way. And I feel like both Kim and Abby have given us some really great things and practices and concepts to add to our toolbox. So I hope that you do that. I hope that you start to incorporate some of these things into your life. And my tip today is at the end of the show, take 2 to 5 minutes and really write down a couple of steps, a couple of things that you're going to do. Maybe even do them in the 2 to 5 minutes, 2 to 7 minutes after the show. Give yourself that time to process, to breathe, to integrate, to feel into what you need. And then as you're looking at stepping out, back out into the world, back out into all that needs to be done and experienced today, you can do so from a centered place, from a place that is mindful and purposeful, not reactive, but really choosing to be how you want to be as you navigate the next steps today. So with that, I promised we would let you know how to connect with our amazing guests to go deeper and stay connected, tap into their resources and expertise. And so I wanted to make sure I honored that. So I hope you have your paper and pen ready. With that, Kim, what's the best way for people to connect in and go deeper?
Well, they can go to our website, which is www.soberisthenewcool.ca, or our Instagram page, which is sober.is.the.new.cool, or our Facebook page, Sober is the New Cool. We are here, and just remember, everybody, you're unique, you're important, and you are so enough.
Beautiful. And I'm going to say, never miss another memory.
Another memory. Yeah. Never, ever miss another memory, because sober is the new cool, right?
Exactly. I have that written down. Beautiful. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Abby, I'd love for you to share the best way for people to connect in and go deeper.
Of course. Thank you. So you can go to my website, www.abbydaw, so it's ABB, B as in boy, E as in elephant, Y, D as in David, AW.com. So just my name. And then just on Instagram as well, it's my name is so at Abby Daw. And then you can also find me on Facebook. So I'm beginning some new courses in January. You do it from the comfort of your own home, so anyone can log on to my courses and I'd love to hear from you.
Beautiful. And I want to touch in, you have a book coming out. Can you give us a little sneak taste of that? So another thing people can follow you on?
Absolutely. I'm writing it now. It's called I'm a Good Girl, From Perfection to Peace, and it's just my journey from trying to people please, codependencies, to try to give fear the voice, and then finding my body and finding peace. So it's just stories. And then I teach mindfulness practices throughout the book.
Beautiful. Oh, I love that. Woven together, and we're also leading an anthology. I'm just thinking of different tools and things that are available for people. It's going to be released on March 1st, and it's Step Into Your Brilliant Purpose. And so we are just thrilled and excited to have you as one of our amazing co-authors in that. So lots of ways that people will be able to connect in and follow and be poured into. So I appreciate all that you do, all that you're bringing forward in 2022. Kim, I'm excited for your creating the nonprofit, so there's even more that you're able to bring forward. So I'm just excited for all that you're providing during this season and the holidays, and all that is yet to come for both of you as you're building. And listeners, I feel that way about you too. I'm excited that you're leaning in, that you're letting us walk beside you and pour into you. I hope that this show has been supportive, that you've found a couple of things that you can bring forward. I encourage you to lean into connecting with our experts here today. They really do value connecting and are available to support you. So if you're needing that, if you're wanting that, they're here. So really lean into the resources they have available. We are here as well, encouraging you, cheering you on. And what I want to remind you of today is that you are absolutely needed. You are a gift, exquisitely and wonderfully made. Nobody else is just like you. And one of the biggest gifts you can give the world is being willing to share more of you, your perspective, your way of being able to truly connect in with you. And I love the idea of reaching out to others and connecting with them and listening and lifting them up, being proactive and smiling, giving grace, taking those 10 seconds to choose how you're showing up, because the way you show up, the way you choose to share the gift of you matters. And it touches lives and hearts. It can uplift, it can encourage, it can give that moment that somebody desperately needed that day because you were willing to share the gift of you. So I want to encourage you to be willing to share more of you, your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your perspective, your listening ear, your heart, your way of being in the world. So find a way to stretch just a little bit more and be proactive, and watch for those moments, because you'll see them if you're looking. Watch for those moments to smile, that moment to listen, that moment to really connect in and be that encouragement for another, or remind someone of how amazing they are. Let's be that in the world as we're sharing our gifts and we're shining out. So as you go forward, I encourage you to choose to share the gift of you, to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and I'll look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.